I'd fall over from trying to kick myself in the arse if I'd missed Ted.
The first series won a BAFTA. You know, every award you can think of, comedy awards.
And the winners are Graham Linehan and Arthur Matthews for Father Ted.
South Bank Show Award, Golden Rose, all that stuff.
I have no idea what to say. We weren't expecting this at all.
These are the twin kings of the Comedy Towers here, the boy princes.
It was just a very fortunate thing of massive critical and popular success just when our careers needed it. Because when you've had one failure, you need a success pretty quickly after that.
It was just a very enjoyable time, you know, it was wonderful, really. It was a surprise, and you had to keep pinching yourself, you know, that this was actually happening.
Aha!
One of my fondest memories is when, around the time I was writing Alan Partridge, myself, Peter Bainham and Armando Iannucci were writing, and we were in an office at Talkback, and kind of next door, Graham and Arthur were writing Father Ted. We got bored, you know, in the writing period. I'd go in their office and just sit there and listen to what they were doing and ask them what they were doing.
Now, your programme, what's the big idea?
We were both writing, those two offices, two sort of now kind of legendary TV series, were being written by just some, and it was nice to have them there and know that they were, and lots of mutual respect. You know, it was like we sort of, there's exposed to an atmosphere of that. We had the same sort of comedy value system, if you like.
I think the Irish are going through a major image change. I mean, the old image of leprechauns, shamrock, Guinness, horses running through council estates, toothless simpletons.
They got a measure of success, as far as I could gather, quite quickly, and they were quite, you know, fated around the sort of comedy circles, and it was sort of given the freedom of the BBC and Channel 4, and you know, and off they went. And as I think Simon Day said, we should just give them comedy, them too.
It was weird. We were writing and writing and writing, but it never felt like work. So people would ask us to do things, we'd be like, yeah, definitely, you know.
They were just engines of comedy in those days.
Please release me, let me go.
The Fast Show was supposed to be lots of very, very quick sketches. And Graham and Arthur write the slowest characters you could ever see in the world.
They said, well, we got this one idea, we're not really sure about it. And they acted out...
Sean Connery.
They acted out Ted and Ralph, basically, which they were still sort of formulating. And we couldn't quite put our fingers on it, but it seemed very funny.
It's a love that has a lot of fences to get over, you know. The fact they're both the same sex, the fact they're both different classes. They're both very shy.
I need to be at the bank to see a man, the bank manager. Is there any way you might be able to give me a lift?
The Land Rover's still in the garage, sir.
Yes. And is the tractor still out of action?
I think so, sir.
I don't suppose you could give me...
Clearly, Ted and Ralph are Graham and Arthur. It's Graham's young love for the slightly older Arthur.
Am I Ralph or Ted? I don't know. I think if I'm Ralph, then that makes sense.
Do you know, sir, there's no need for you to hold on quite so tightly, sir. It's quite safe. You won't fall off, sir.
It's just genius, and it really gave the Fast Show, I think, a lot of warmth. And Ted and Ralph, it's an enduring love story that could go on for decades.
If you like exceptionally good comedy, I think the fact that you're able to write something sort of warm and mainstream doesn't mean, you know, that you're absolutely incapable of confronting something a bit more challenging in terms of subject matter, or a bit more abrasive or acerbic.
When you start in the business, a lot of people are very close together who are part of a kind of part of the zeitgeist of a kind of comedy movement. Things are changing and it's very exciting.
Like if you look at art movements and things like this, it's people not just on their own in isolation working, it's at the end of the day going to their local pub and meeting people who are like-minded and saying, we must do more things that are like this and we must try and destroy this. We started getting to know the day-to-day people Chris Morris and Amanda Iannucci and Steve Coogan, and they were just lovely, and they started inviting us to their script meetings.
Welcome,
which was to us beyond the thrill, because we absolutely worshipped them.
The day-to-day was about the news and saying how ridiculous the news is.
The Home Secretary's new measures for dealing with neighbourhood noise have been introduced this week by Broxbourne Police, and it looks like they're working. Noisy people have been a problem in Broxbourne for years, but now if the police receive more than 5 complaints against a single household, they just turn up and release a tiger through the front door. So far, they say, the Home Secretary's new measures have been 100% successful.
And that led to us working with Chris Morris on Brass Eye. And on Brass Eye, we worked even closer. We had a real writing relationship with Chris that involved us getting together for a whole afternoon and just swapping ideas back and forth over a desk.
Tonight on Brass Eye, animals. Are we too nice or too nasty?
He felt that the bigger the boil that had to be lanced, you know, the more fun it would be. What Chris would do is he would set up a fake charity or production company and tell celebrities he was doing some project to help criminals or some project to help animals or whatever it was, and he would trick celebrities into supporting these ridiculous kind of concerns, like an elephant whose trunk got stuck up its arse.
Paul Daniels' contribution moved all who saw it to horrible tears.
Carla the elephant is currently curled up in a kind of a grey ball. Her trunk is actually stuck up her anus, and they're not trying to help her.
People just said it. They just came out with it without question because they were getting on TV.
I'll give you another one that you can cut in later. I'll just say that. And you can cut it in later. Yeah, go to the elephant, go to somewhere else, all right? And still rolling? Come on, help us get that trunk out.
Big Train was great. We had a lot of fun doing Big Train. The casting were brilliant.
Big Train.
Big Train was our attempt to take some of the lessons that were learned in the day-to-day and apply them to sketch comedy, and have very, very crazy ideas, but presented in such a naturalistic and kind of gag-free way.
Big Train.
I think it's hilarious.
Good.
Do you think this is going to appeal to everybody?
No.
But do you like that? Do you like the fact that it's not mainstream?
No, well, it's not something we do by choice. It's just what we find funny, you know. I mean, we think that, you know, jockeys stampeding is funny, and Prince chasing after them.
Because they prefer the weeds of the plain, the jockeys spend long periods in the open, risking attack from hunters, like the artist formerly known as Prince.
There's a purity about what they did together and a singularity of vision.
We would often say the exact same thing, you know, at the exact same moment. We became a kind of single brain.
We were married from 91 till I left the marriage. I moved out.
What happened was Arthur went on to do a project called Hippies. I went off to do Black Books with Dylan Moran. We'd done all this separate stuff. We just weren't the same people when we came back. And I would sit down and Arthur would write something and I'd go, no, I don't like it. You know?